How are we doing?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Let me just move that. Yes, happy Easter, everyone. How are you? Have you had a lovely day, a lovely night? Whatever is going on with you guys, I hope it is super. So, who has a question? How can I help you guys? How can I serve you guys? No entertaining today. Just me showing up, being there for you guys, helping you guys, and yeah, here to help, here to do whatever I need to help your day and help your week. So let's start off with what we always start off with. Good morning, Tammy. Hi, Rianne. Let's get what are we grateful for? What are we thankful for? What is one good thing that happened to you? And I've noticed there's a lot of people on the call. Not everyone plays that game. There's a reason I asked that, guys. Like, if you can't think of one good thing that has happened to you and or one good thing that you're thankful for, you need to work on your mindset. The fact that you're watching this says that you are on a phone, and the fact that you have a phone says that you are in one of the most privileged places or in your life ever. You know, there's people out there that don't have phones, that don't have internet, that don't have homes, that don't have food. So there is always something. Okay, grateful for the amazing rain overnight. That's good. Good, I'm thankful for the fact my horses live at home and I can still ride. Thankful for my friends and family. Good. Okay, Olivia, I finally cantered my horse No Reins. Well, yay. I had my kids doing that the other day. They were out doing aeroplanes. Good. All right, so we've had storms all day and I'm grateful they weren't as bad as predicted. Good. Okay, my horse, I'm on a 4-week lockdown and still have my job. Yay, best way to chill out a tense horse. Super talented but distracted. Transitions, changes of directions, go forward, go back, go forward, go back within the gate, shoulder forward, shoulder in, travers, renvers, leg your left, leg your right. Just constantly change it up, move him around, move him left, right, move him forward, back. Like, it's just constant adjustment. Okay, it's very, yeah. And I used to struggle with that. I was always just going round in circles aimlessly. And when I really understood that you're meant to move the horse all the time, you know, Carl Hester says, or it might be Charlotte, if you're not doing anything between one arena marker to the next, you're doing it wrong. You have to do something. And when I wrap my head around always moving the horse, always doing something, the riding really accelerated. Okay. Good, lots of gratefulness. I'm glad. Thank you. Thankful for having YouTube and Instagram so I can learn about horses when I can't ride. I love it. Yes, we are very, very lucky. All right, so do we have any questions? Anything I can do to help you guys today? Need advice. My Frisian is 4, lovely and trot, but bucks into canter and ears back cranky. Canters easily on the trail. Come on, Facebook, work with me today. It's disappeared. I'll never know. I think it's that the horse cantered well, but not in the arena. So you know it's not a pain thing. If they canter fine on a lunge or they canter fine out on a trail ride, then it's just a learnt behaviour. So regardless of the ears back, regardless of the pig route, the horse has to canter. And you do it again until it's so boring and we're all so bored and we all can't be bothered to have a reaction about it because it's all so ordinary, it's so normal, and it's so boring. Does that make sense? Okay, how do you sit? Go with the canter. With my terrible balance, I get off and then I get off. Oh, maybe you get off balance and then I lock my hips and grip with my knees. It's about trust. Again, I've been watching my kids learn to ride and they don't know that canter means something or feeling out of, it's not even the canter. They are very horribly unbalanced and they are bouncing and, you know, very close to falling off very often. But they don't know that that's happening, and so they therefore don't have a map around it. So it's all about trust, and even though you may have lost your balance, as long as you're still in the center of gravity, you're not going to fall anywhere. There's something underneath you. So it is tricky because I watch them and I go, ugh! But that's the process, isn't it? How do you learn how to ride a horse if you haven't ridden the horse? Like, you can't learn canter and balance in canter until you're cantering. Now, of course, you can be in trot, you can do balance exercises, you can do aeroplanes, you can put your hands up, you can, do things to develop your feel and develop your balance. And absolutely, you should do those things. You should be smart and you should try and build all of that. But like the feeling of a horse trotting and jumping into canter, it's really hard to recreate that feeling. That is a feeling of like, that's where the rider gets to abandon control, because you can't control that. You can't control that. You have to go with it. So I normally find trot to canter issues are not normally it is a little bit skill, but like as my kids have shown and Phil's shown, if you don't have a fear mindset around it, you don't, it doesn't matter. Does that make sense? So do things to build your confidence in the trot, but be okay that you're going to have to abandon control for a second. And then when the horse is in canter, you can get back to it. But be okay that it's a little bit off for a little bit. I think I've shown you, we're actually going to go into the arena tomorrow, I hope, Phil. We were talking about it. And I'm going to give Phil a lesson. And I'm also going to give my kids a lesson at one point in this month. And I just want you guys to see the freedom and the trust when it shouldn't technically be there because there's no skill there. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Spooking at something she's walked past 100 times before and all of a sudden is spooking and refusing to go past. So like the gorgeous Emily, is it the spooky corner or is it your spooky corner? I do have an update from the beautiful Emily. I don't know if she's around. She said she rode again and she decided to do a canter transition in the spooky corner, which was huge for her because it's obviously not the spooky corner anymore, and the horse cantered and she's loving it. She said she was so bored. She's bored, and it's so boring. Even the canter transition was boring, and her husband's reminding her how boring riding is, and that will only make sense if you saw the session. So if you're thinking this is really weird, just go back and watch those sessions. But she is totally rocking the boredom, totally rocking it all and having a grand old time. So we'll get her back at towards the end of the month and see how her riding's going. Okay, how do you recommend we get back to riding when it's time? So it depends on your horse. Like Arba, I trust implicitly, and I had like, well, he's never had, sometimes he's had 3 or 4 weeks off and I just get on. But then there's other horses that I'm like, you've had a week off, you're on the lunge. Lunge. Okay, I'm going to get on. Because some horses can be cold backed. Some horses can just love to buck when they have energy. Who has a horse like that? They just love to move their body in that way. They love to leap and buck and bolt and blah and explode. And I go, that's okay. Rock on. Do that on the lunge. Have your thing. And then when I get on, we don't do that. We do like medium canter is our limit. And yeah, that's just my rules and that's just what I do. So yeah, feel free to take that. But I always ride them that day. Like I'll just lunge them, and if they're super fresh on the lunge and super crazy on the lunge, they get lunged for a while before I get on them. But often, a lot of the time, it's probably still in your head. A lot of the time I lunge them and they're like walk, trot, canter, super boring, super bored, and you can just get on and you go, yeah. Then it's just the normal. How many kids do I have? I have 2. I'm terrible, Olivia. I avoid one end of the arena because there's trees and loose branches. Not anymore. Help me with getting my mare on the bit and slow her down in the corners. Then I would use your corners. It's impossible for your horse to gallop around a corner if they go into the corner. So instead of, your corner, over here, corner is a 90-degree thingy. If you could ride your horse into and actually have footprints on that corner, think about how balanced your horse had to be. Think about how engaged his hind leg had to be. But if he's going around unbalanced like a motorbike, he's going to fall in. So, if you can keep your horse upright and really ride him into the corner, it's going to slow down. Why do I use circles and corners all the time with fast horses? Because it naturally slows them down. So I don't need to like half hold on their mouth. I can just use the corner to do it. And then because you've balanced the horse and because you've got the hind leg under, you'll find it easier to get the horse on the bit in the corners anyway. So use your corners. Okay. My horse is 15 and I wonder when we can guess it's time to put them on retreat. I always find that they tell you they're not so happy in their work, or they're not so willing, or they're looking, you know, that tired, that apathetic look. And sometimes I've had that in, I think the youngest I've ever had that was, well, I had that with a mare because I was riding her when she was pregnant, and she was happy days, and then she was not happy days. So we went, yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, listen to your horse. Trust that you can, you know, I know they don't speak to us, but they do talk to us, if that's a thing. Okay. My horse is 32 and still being ridden. I love it. Any tips for stopping my hands from pumping at the canter? Yeah. So think about it. They pump in the canter because there's a force. And I'm guessing they pump also because your upper body would be doing something. So what you need to do is isolate your body, and your hands are independent of your body, and your body's independent of other things. So you want to go, okay, how can I keep my hands still? And really, I would, you know, how people are like, look up, look up. When I had a problem with my hands, the only thing that helped me was staring at them and really going, oh, they move a lot. So, you know, I was looking up thinking I was a great little rider, looked down, what's this? And they were my hands. So look at your hands and make the conscious effort. If you can have your horse on a lunge, if someone's lunging you, then you don't need to think about anything else. You can just think about this and work out which muscles you need to isolate and tense to keep it still. And if you go, I can't do that, you can. Who's ever walked to their table with 2 bottles of Coke, or Coke's closed, but you know, two glasses of beer, 2 glasses of champagne, 2 glasses of mineral water, whatever beverage you want to have. But as you walk around, your body's doing one thing and walking, but you tense whatever muscles you have to tense. You don't tense your muscles so tight and your hands so tight that you crush the glass. You don't keep your hands so relaxed that the glasses fall out from underneath you. And you don't, as you walk, move the glasses so all the liquid falls out. You already have the skills and the ability to keep your hands in one position and move the rest of yourself. So you can do it when you ride, but you just haven't done the neurological groove to find out how to do that. So you've got to use your visual guide to actually go, oh, like I did. That's moving a lot. I wasn't aware they did that. I didn't tell them to do that. Whoever has that thing about their body, I didn't tell my body to do that. Why is it doing that all by itself? But then when you do the visual and you realize, you get the feedback back into your brain going, oh, this is happening, then you go, okay, I need to adjust that, and I need to adjust that. And then you'll visually start to see that they start to stand still. Oh, your hands are still, and then your brain can try and keep that. You'll probably look up, they'll start doing this again, and you got to look down. So it's okay to look down. That's the only time you're allowed to look down, to work on your hand position and your stillness. Okay. What else? Struggling to get my mare to relax and go forwards in canter. She doesn't seem to have a gallop. I love that you even know this. I don't think my horses have a gallop, and that is fine. I'm struggling to get my mare to relax and go forwards. Yeah, okay. Get her onto I mean, if you really want your horse to go forward and it's not going forward, if you're in an arena, we take the horses out. So get into a big paddock and let them go. And if they still don't go, get a horse to gallop in front of them. They'll go. They're instinctual animals. If there's a horse galloping in front of them, they will gallop. Oh, it's so cute. The horse I ride often bolts with me. It's usually in canter circles, and he bolts towards the other end of the arena and puts his head down. Yeah, don't let them put their head down. Bad things can happen when they put their head down. So, yeah, if your horse bolts, small circle, 1 rein. I said before, if your horse is going forward and you pull, you'll never be strong enough. You've got to pull with 1 rein and get them onto a circle. Struggling to get my horse to slow down in canter. She bolts all the time. Small circles. If you've ever seen that video of me riding my young stallion, he does that. The minute you go down the long side, he's like, whoa! And you just circle again. And then down the long side, whoa! Circle again. And so it takes me 10 minutes to go from one side of the arena to the other because I do one stride on the long side and then a circle. And then one stride on the long side and then a circle. And then maybe 2 strides on the long side and then a circle. And then half a stride on the long side and then a circle. It's just training, and they just, they will fall over if they're not engaging that hind leg on the circle. So they have to engage the hind leg, which means they have to sit back, which means they have to slow down, which means they're in the position that you want them to be in. And then, yes, when they go on the long side, they can get on the forehand and take off again, but then you just rebalance on the circle again. And then you hope in about 3 months from then, you don't need to use the circle. You can just use a half halt to balance, and they're going to sit back for you because they know if they don't, that it's going to have to go on the circle again. I tried circles, but she broncs when I circle. Circle's smaller. She can't bronc if she's going to fall over. So smaller circle, smaller circle, smaller circle. You have to get the hind leg under. The hind leg is up if they're bronking. And if she's that crazy and she's bronking all the time, there's a retraining issue. She's not broken. Like, to me, if I'm on a horse that broncs all the time, I go take it back to the breaker and I go, this horse doesn't allow me on its back. Like, this horse hasn't accepted that I get to be on his back and get to make decisions. Like, if that's the choice all the time. Okay. Betsy, how do you recommend we get back into riding when we can start again, like starting all over again? I'm concerned. Oh, why would you do that to me? Guys, technology hates me. I'm concerned about when this happens. Yep, so I just answered that, Betsy. Oh, low network connection. Why is my life doing that to me? Okay, hang on. Okay, we're back. It's all right. I swapped it over, Phil. Okay, so yeah, I answered that. Just use the lunge, and you can always give them one lunge if you want to, and then on the second day lunge them and then get back on. But yeah, just get back to the start of the video because I did talk about that. Okay, what are you doing, Phil? I don't need you to do anything.
YouTube in case you want to see.
I'm not going to go look at it. Thank you, baby. Circles really helped with my boy last year. He was crazy in the canter, now goes lovely. I love it. Okay. For your dressage horses, do you do a lot of long and low? I'm currently doing a lot of work on the buckle, stretching long and low, also to build my confidence that he's not going to run off if I give him the rein. Good. Nico is trained to level 3 or 4 dressage already. I'm just learning how to work him correctly. Yeah, I mean, I always warm up the horses round and deep, and the more I can get that back to stretch. So if you're on a horse, I need something. If I'm on a horse and their neck is, okay, so here's my horse. Here's the pole. Here's the neck. So here's the neck and here's the back. How long, so now let me stretch that out. How long is this? And maybe let's say it's 10 centimeters, okay? Now, if I go, okay, I've got it here and the horse's head is up, but now I want to put it all the way down and I want to lift the back and I want to lift the back and I want the neck to go more, but I want the back to lift more. So I want the back to do this. And I've done that by making the hind leg go under and by having the head down. Now how long is my piece of string? It's longer. So it's all about flexibility and suppleness and getting that back higher. So for something to go higher, so it's the same as us. You know, if I'm here, how short am I? And especially if I've got my head up, I'm really, really short. Like yeah, I'm short. So I want to lengthen that, which means, you know, I want the horse to stretch. And especially something like a Friesian, they don't stretch. They're like, hi, 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 my neck's this short. So I want that whole accordion, you know how an accordion can compress or come out? We want it to come out and stretch. And it's the same as us. Can you do the splits? Can you do certain things in your body? And you're like, no, my muscles are this short. So we need to lengthen all of those things. Okay. What are the steps for flying changes, please? So if your horse is cantering, flying changes do my head in because it's lefts and rights. If you're cantering right and you want to do a flying change left. When you're cantering right, where is the weight? And you go, okay, the weight's probably a little bit more on the left shoulder. To do a flying change left, the weight needs to be off the left and over to the right. So you need to move the horse from this position to this position. So your first step is getting this empty and getting this soft. So you're putting your left leg on, but not back because, oh well, it can be back because it's got the flying change on, but yeah, you're creating that banana curve to the left with your leg and with your shoulder position. So with your hands creating that concave suppleness to the left. And then when you've got that, you just switch the leg and your seat says boom, change to the left. But it's all about the moving the weight from one side of the horse to the other, which is why people struggle so much with the change and why it's in a higher level movement, because that's a tricky, it needs more skill. So trust that helps. Any tips for slow lesson horses that like to cut their corners? I put my leg on ahead of time, good, and try to support them, but they just resist, put the head to the outside and break. Yep, so they're stronger than you and they're doing this. So you just need to be a little bit more stronger. You need to be like, whoo, I said over here. So more outside rein and that inside leg, you know, really pushing, going, I said this. School horses are very naughty. They try to ignore everything you say. Okay, I'm trying to teach my horse to buck, but he either does or... I'm trying to teach my horse to canter. My brain's like, why would you do that? I'm trying to teach my horse to canter, but he either does a ridiculously huge fast trot or bucks. So either is not okay. I'm nervous now, which makes him tense, and he's a giant. So firstly, it's not, the horse is never allowed to trot really fast into a canter transition. So if you say trot, 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 canter, and he doesn't canter instantly, you're not doing the transition. Bail on the transition, because now it's not a trot canter transition. It's a trot faster even more into canter. That's not the transition. So you need to go trot, 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 immediately canter. The buck, that could happen because then you're blocking, because you don't want him to trot fast. So you need to make sure you don't block in the canter transition. I always think, and I always tell my riders when they're first doing this, I want you to think you're going over a jump as you go into a canter transition. So trot, 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 canter. I do that with my riders that are like trot, 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 canter, please don't. So they're asking for the canter, but they're actually blocking the canter. So it has to be trot, 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 allow the horse to step into canter. But it's the quickness. I'm allowing you into canter. No, back to trot, because you didn't canter. Like you gotta be ready to go with it. And the millisecond you're going and he's not going with it because he's not actually cantering, we're bailing. So it's about being quick. We don't have time to go 5 strides later. Oh, he's still not in canter. He's just trotting really fast. This is a problem. Or now he's bucking. It has to be trot, 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 boom, didn't happen. Back to trot. We're going to ask that again. So, yeah, I know it's tricky. I know riding's tricky, but you just got to keep going with it, and going, okay, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. Oh, God. Love it, love it, love it. How can I get my Frisian sharper off the leg? She seems to be behind my leg. She's a Frisian. Of course she is. Any exercises to help? Yeah, you just got to apply your soft leg. It's like me whispering, you know, and I'm saying, hi, how you doing? Now! And you're like, what? It's the same with the horse. You use really whisper legs. It's like, hey, I'd really like you to go forward. Kick! Hey, you didn't go forward. So it's like, whoa, okay, I gotta go. And then legs off. Normally Frisians train you to keep your legs on, which means if the leg aid is always on, are they gonna listen to it? No, they become dull to it because it's always there. So they become habituated to it. I will get there. So the legs have to be off. They only have to come on when you need them to, and they need to whisper. And if they don't whisper, then they yell, and then they go away again. Okay, hi Tash, how do I immediately canter? It's just about this leadership so every horse I'm on, they know it's 3, 2, 1, pop. And if they didn't pop, we're back to trot. And it's, hey, what happened? I asked you to canter. So then I might go trot, 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 pop, tickle with the whip, and straight away trot again, because like they haven't cantered yet. But now they're going to be razzed up. Now they're going to be like, whoa, she means it. When she says canter, she means now. That's weird. I've never encountered that before, is normally how it goes if I'm riding a horse that I haven't trained. So now, but they're like, whoa. So then you go trot, 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 seat aid, and they're ready for it. They know that there's a consequence. If they don't react to my seat, that there's going to be a tickle with the whip, or there's going to be a big kick, or it depends how sensitive your horse is. Like on cue, I don't even ride him with a whip. All I would have to do is, instead of use my calf like this, I'd have to use my calf like that. And he would be like, oh my God, he'd be horrendously offended. And he would bolt off because I've used my leg 20% more than what I would normally do. And that's enough for him. And then I would go back to I wouldn't even really use seat. I'd just apply the seat aid and he'd be there. Like, he is the nicest, easiest horse I've ever had to get into canter, because he's so hot and sensitive. So I just need to breathe and he's cantering. On something like Arbor, like, I can kick till the cows come home. He's not going to canter. For anyone that's come to have lessons at the Institute, you guys will know this. So he needs to really learn to respect my leg. He needs to know that if he doesn't canter, the whip's going to be there. There's going to be a consequence, and he has to react. But every horse, whether they're like cue and super sensitive, and I just need to breathe and I've offended them, as opposed to a really lazy horse, the consequence is the same. If I ask for the transition and it didn't happen, there's going to be a stronger aid coming, and how strong that aid is depends on the personality of the horse. Okay. My new 3-year-old freshly broken filly is so balanced in the canter already. Is that due to breeding or just individual horses? Yeah, both. Yeah, like she's a very good, talented horse. Yay. Take it. Most of us aren't lucky enough to ride horses like that. I feel out of balance when I ask for the canter, and then I'm fine until I come to the corners when I panic. Life would be great if I only had to canter on a straight line. Well, you got to ask yourself, you got to be smart. Why does my neurology decide that a corner is something to be panicked about? What happened in the corner that caused that reaction? Is that a logical thing? Is that always going to happen to every corner that I ever encounter? Does that happen to every rider in every corner that they encounter? No. You've seen a lot of riders ride through corners and nothing happened what you think could happen, which is why you've decided to panic in the corner. So you've got to get into your neurology. You've got to find out why your brain does this thing, and then you've got to change it. Why am I not in uniform? Do I have to be in uniform? I felt like a white day today instead of black. Is that okay? Nikki, Gorgeous Arbor has taught me to be more determined with my aids. Any tips on making my lower leg more stable? Get more weight. As I've said, if there's no weight in something, it can swing. If something weighs, there's nothing in there, it's going to do this. The minute you put weight down, you anchor it. You get it. You're now in control of it. It's not this independent thing that just gets to swing. Okay. Oh, it's a TikTok challenge for the hospitals. I have no idea what you're talking about. A uniform is a TikTok challenge for the hospitals. Tell me more. I'm very intrigued. How to sit properly in trot on a Frisian horse. They are so uncomfortable. Yes, they are. You got to connect. You got to somehow plug in those seat bones. You got to somehow connect and get in there, get into the saddle. So I always find it's easier to make the trot as small and as little and as quiet and as slow as possible. Not ideal for training a horse, but ideal for learning how to sit to the horse. So make the trot just a jog. Make it a nothing trot. Make it as little as possible. And then when you can sit to that, plug into that, and connect to that, you can take it up a level, you can take it up a level, you can take it up a level. Okay. I'm currently teaching my mare to leg yield. It's excellent off the left leg, but she falls apart off the right leg. Okay, excellent off the left leg, not so good off the right leg. Yep. So the good thing is, it's not that she doesn't understand the aid. It means that she's blocked on her right side, and she's like this, and the leg yield's saying come like this, and she's like, nah, I'm going to sit over here. So yeah, you just need to, even if you do it in hand, you've got to unblock that part of her. You've got to get it that she can do this. And right now she's thinking, I can't. She's like in a stretch, going, I can't do that. So you've got to move that over. Got to get, and she's like, I can't. So that's why I'd probably get it off if you're really struggling, and just get her to feel that, and in being in that position without a rider on their back and being comfortable with that position, and then you can start doing it when you're on. Okay. You said the other day on your farm tour you didn't think Ollie would be your Olympic horse. So what's your plans for him? My plans for him is still to train him to Grand Prix, because he's so cute, and I had a real blast training Arbor Grand Prix, and Ollie will be even easier. And I love Friesians in Grand Prix. I love their Piaffe and Passage, and I really, really, really enjoy the challenge of putting tempi changes into something that doesn't have tempi changes. Like, I saw the best Olympians in the world. Any Olympian, any rider would, and like, I'm talking top riders, would come down, I'd book in, pay a fortune for a lesson, and be like, I need help with my ones. My Friesian stallion Arbor, he can't do ones. And they went, yeah, you don't have ones. Like, you don't have ones. And I was like, yeah, I know, I need them. And they're like, this horse can't do ones. And I went, well, I think he can. Like, let's teach him. Let's see if he can't do ones. Let's train him. Let's teach him. And they were all like, but you can't, because he can't do ones. So I really like impossible challenges like this. Do you guys know me at all? I really do like the impossible challenge. It's fun. Oh, dear. Cool. All right. Well, I think that has been today. So really, really fun hanging out with you guys. Like I said, tomorrow, is that a definite, Phil? Are we doing you tomorrow? Oh, he's saying it might happen. Phil? What do you think, guys? Do you think we need to? I think we need to. What, Phil? Oh, Phil's saying, can I have some love? Of course they'll give you love. Yeah, well, what time are we probably going to do the 9 then tomorrow? Okay, so tomorrow we're going to go live at 9 a.m. We'll put a note in social media for you. Please remember hit subscribe, hit like, hit follow on all the social media challenges, just so you can never miss when I go live. I think you get a notification when I go live as long as you're a subscriber. And also remember, if you would like the Xflix subscription with my $400 worth of bonuses, you can check that out on yourridingsuccess.com/Easter at home. Phil, you're getting love. Come on, Phil. We love Phil. Please, Phil, we will all be grateful. There you go. So yeah, that's what we're doing tomorrow. Please, Phil, we want to see Phil ride. Thank you, guys. Yeah, we'll do that. I think there'll be a good learning in there for everyone. Cool. So 9 a.m. tomorrow. Have an amazing day. Lots of love, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.